Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I figured I would do a how to seal slash how to make up your Reborn baby formula. I know there's a bunch of these videos out in the YouTube community, in the Reborn community on YouTube, but all of them are different. Everyone has their different techniques and ways to do things, so I thought I would add my 2 cents, I guess. So a lot of people would use different things to seal things, just kind of depends what they have in their country. Same with making up their formula, their fake formula, whatever that you can find. I'm going for the cheapest option that I can. So basically in our town there's a cheap shop. My mum actually found it. Found this in the cheap shop. It's just silicone sealant. I was going to go to Bunnings and get a silicone sealant, which was going to be like $13 something, but luckily my mum went into the cheap shop at the right time and found this for only $3 or $2.99. That was really good because I didn't have to spend $13. Instead I only had to spend $3. So as long as you use a silicone sealant and it's clear color, as long as it's a clear silicone sealant, you should be okay. It shouldn't matter too much on the brand or type of thing you get. I'll put a picture of the one that I was going to get from Bunnings if you guys wanted to get that one. I know it's not the cheapest. If you can go to maybe a cheap shop that kind of sells like miscellaneous stuff, then maybe look at like the hardware section and see if you can find any silicone sealant. This is the one that I have just to kind of give a bit of a close-up, and it is clear. And then it also comes with a little nozzle as well, which will help you out a lot to get up into the nipple of the bottle. So what I'm going to be doing today is sealing all of the nipple bits of the bottles. And then I'm going to let them sit overnight. You probably don't necessarily need to wait for it to sit overnight, probably just a few hours or like a day or something for it to dry. I'm just going to leave it for 24 hours. I'll come back to it this time tomorrow and I will do a double check on all of the bottles to make sure that they aren't leaking or anything, and if they're leaking then I'll redo them obviously. But if they aren't leaking then I will go ahead and make up the formula for them. But let's get to sealing the actual nipples so they can start drying. I'm going to do all of them, but maybe 1 or 2 off camera just so I can show you at least 1 or 2 on camera. So I'm gonna go do the ones off camera and then we'll do the ones on camera. So I have all of my bottles set out here that I want to seal the nipples of. I have my sealant and I've also cut the tip of the little corking thing, I guess. I have all of these bottles. Some I have emptied out, some are already empty, and these ones are full. I just need to figure out if I want to tip them out, keep some, tip them all out. These ones are kind of thick, which I kind of like, whereas this one here, for example, is really watery and I feel like I would like it a little bit more thicker. But then with these ones being the thickness that I like, I don't know if I should tip them out because I would like a little bit more in the bottle than just 1.5 to 2 ounces in it. Okay, I just wanted to share a quick tip that I kind of came up with. The lighting's kind of bright, I apologize, I just wiped it down, which is why it's wet. But basically, so if you're doing multiple bottles at once and you don't want to mismatch pieces or lose pieces, set your bottle up like this. So most of my bottles come with or have the stopper, obviously the cap, and then the nipple and the little screwy bit along with the actual bottle part. So the way that I am setting mine up is I have the bottle and then I have the cap, and inside the cap I put the stopper, set it where I want it. So next to the bottle, put the cap, just kind of sit the cap on top like that. And then I place the actual nipple that you're sealing inside of the bottle like that, facing down, so it's inside of the bottle like that. So all of the pieces are together, and then whenever you want to seal a nipple, you just come and grab it out and then put it back in to dry. Okay, so I'm just finishing up doing the bottles. So I've got this one here left to do, and then this one from the bigger one. The technique that I found works best is if you kind of sit it inside of your bottle like this, facing down, then you can just stick it in and do it that way. You just have to kind of eyeball it through there because it can kind of not in line properly. Okay, so just went and did this one. You can't really see, but that's like kind of the whole point because it's clear, but you can kind of see. Now a quick tip, obviously make sure that you're sealing the main hole of where it comes out of. Some nipples will have other little holes. For example, I don't have any on mine. Some might have like a little air hole. Like I could be wrong on this, but I think it's mainly on the ones with like your colic bottles. So if you get one specifically to prevent colic, then I think it's mainly just on them ones with the little air hole. But if you do have a teat with that extra air hole, make sure you fill that in too, because it will leak out of that, as well as your main hole up the top. I'm going to go do this one now, and I'm going to use this bottle as the little stand since this bottle already has stuff in it. Okay, so another tip is if you get any of the sealant around like this part or like this part of your teat, or anywhere that you don't want it on the teat, just wipe it whilst it's still wet, like as soon as you can, just with a tissue. Just get in there to wipe it off. If you get anywhere you don't want it, just make sure you wipe it off straight away before it dries and you can't really get it off. But I've just done these, I'm going to put them back over there. And then just another quick tip with your sealant stuff, make sure you're storing it properly and make sure you clean this properly. Make sure you put the cap back on because it will dry out. So that's what I'm about to go do now. There's going to be so much still built up in this bit, but you can clean it out whenever, I guess. Sorry for the horrible angles, I'm just working with what I've got here. And store it away in my Reborn box. So I just have them all sitting inside of the bottle like that, just to dry overnight. I'll check them tomorrow afternoon, so I'll give them around a day and just check them then that it's not leaking. I'll show you how I do that, and then we'll make up the formula and I'll show you how I do that as well. Okay, so it's the next night, like afternoon. They have sat overnight and I have just tested them to make sure that they aren't leaking or anything. This one here is one that I did on camera. I have a feeling it may be leaking a little bit, so I'm going to double check it. It may be okay. There might have just been a little water on my hands that I thought was leaking. All of the rest are fine though, they aren't leaking or anything. If you're wondering how I do it, I literally just take it to the bathroom, fill the teat with water and squeeze the teat around and make sure that no water comes out of the hole, leaks out anywhere of the hole. You can also put the bottle back together, put water in the bottle and test it out that way. Squeeze the nipple, push it up against your hand as if you're going to be putting it up against your baby's mouth, because that is essentially how it's going to be on your baby. So you want to make sure that in that position it's not going to leak either. So that's another way you can do it. But yeah, I just did it the way that I showed you, but you can also do it that way if you wanted to like make sure even more. So now it's time to actually make the formula up. So I'm going to show you my technique with how I do that. Some I am going to keep empty just for role play purposes in some videos. Some I am probably going to keep full. I don't know if I'm going to empty them yet, but some I am going to make up. So let's get to making up the formula. Okay, so I just thought that I would quickly show you how I make up my formula for my Reborn. So I haven't made it up in a few years. Basically fill it with hot water or like warm water to the amount that you would like. So for example, 3 ounces, 4 ounces, 2 ounces. So you fill it up with the water. It being hot or warm just helps the lotion that you're about to put in it dissolve a little bit better. So now you can choose any lotion that you can find or that suits you. I just found this cheap baby lotion. It doesn't have to be baby lotion, but I just found this cheap baby lotion for $2.50 at the reject shop. So I decided to go with that. So we're going to see how it works. I've never used this for making up fake formula before, but that's what I'm going to use. So I'll put that in after the hot water. A lot of people use the food dye method. So you get yellow food dye and a toothpick, and you can dip the end of a toothpick into the food dye, and then once you make up your formula, just kind of do a little swish. You don't want a lot of yellow in there, but a little swish just to add that yellowness of the formula. Another option that you could do is get a tinted like moisturizer, or like something like that with a little bit of color. That may work, but you also don't want it to be too dark. So I have finished making up the bottles. So these three I'm going to keep empty. This one is also going to stay empty as well, just for like roleplay purposes. If I ever need to like make up formula in the video, then I have like a variety of bottles that I can choose from. This one I need to get a new nipple for, not nipple, teat. I've been saying nipple in like the first half of this video. I realized that when editing like the first half of it, and I apologize, it's not a nipple, it's a teat. So, and yeah, but I need to get a new teat for this bottle. So all of those are sealed, they just don't have formula made up in them. These ones do. So this one I think I'm going to remake. These two here are the ones that are a little bit thicker that I like, so I didn't tip them out. I'm going to keep them because I like the thickness, and I can't figure out how I got that thickness. These two are the ones I made up. This one's going to look a little bit more blue because it's in a blue like tinted bottle, but it is a good color if you look inside of it. This one looks a little yellow. I probably made this one a little bit too yellow. Either way, it still looks like formula, so I say that's a win. The Tommy Tippy bottles that you mainly see in my videos, in my roleplay videos, I need to remake those up too, but I will do that off camera when I have the extra time. I just wanted to do these ones just so I could get this video up for you guys. But yeah, so these are all sealed and made up. That's how I do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know there's a lot of these videos out in the Reborn community, but I just thought I would add another one. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helped you guys, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.